Madam Web is definitely a film of all time. If you want a non-spoiler review, I've done that elsewhere. I'll make sure it's one of the videos that pops up that's recommended. If you're here for spoilers, well, let's get to my spoiler-filled review. As you can tell, I'm quite excited. So for starters, this film is not very action-packed. I know it might have seemed like that at some point during the marketing, especially with how much action they showed, but I'm not lying to you when I tell you that all the action in the film is in the trailer, and you would not be able to tell otherwise because the way that the film is actually cut is sort of cut like the trailer, where things just happen and they're rapid succession flashes of things, including fistfights and all that, and then literally it just snaps you either back through time and has you redo it from a different angle, and or it just continues on to the next scene without much flow. And that's present throughout the entire film, including basic editing. Now, the reason I opened up and talked about this is because one of the controversial things that's been mentioned is that the suits in the film are only in the film for 3 minutes. And that's literally if you include like the credits as well, where they're flashing the suits up. Everything you see in the trailer that features them attacking Ezekiel is literally a 30-second scene that plays once, and then at the end they flash forward and show each one of these Spider-Women in their costume for about 8 seconds each, and that's it. You get very, very little of them in the suits, action at all, and it's more of a character study piece, I would say, than anything, focusing on Cassandra Webb. Now, of course, this is her journey to become Madam Web, and to me, the film is at its strongest when it's not doing any of the superhero stuff. Like, that's when the film is the strongest, when you just have our female characters together, sort of leading one another around and trying to figure out what's going on. You get some genuinely great banter and moments between them, but everything is just sort of undercut in a underwhelming way by everything else that's going on, including Ezekiel's entire plot. So the film takes place in 2003, and it doesn't really need to at all, because one of the things in this film is, hey, we got technology that's not going to be readily available for some 15, 20 years. So we're going to use that, and we're going to plug this technology into all the cameras and CCTV and stuff, and we're going to track down these girls who I need to kill because of a vision I had of the future. Okay, but, like, why though? Like, why did you need to set it in this year and then find a backwards way to bring technology from the future to the past, but then plug it into it and it just kind of works? Like, the way that they present the world in 2003, it's like it's as connected as it is today, which is not the case. And I can tell you that as somebody that lived through it, you know, as a very young teenager. Like, that's not how it was. And this film just kind of pretends it is once it sets up that it's for some reason set back in the day. Find a reason if you can. I can't. I couldn't. I literally can't find one. Anyways, though, Ezekiel has a plan. He's responsible for the death of Cassandra's mom. She was saved by the spider people in Brazil. So, hey, now he's got these powers that he somehow got from the spider. They never explain how. He just like found the spider after he killed Cassandra's mom, and he's like, aha, I guess I utilized it now to give myself spider powers. Never explained. His connection to the bigger spider future, connections to anything from the comics, non-existent. Just kind of wasted, in my opinion. But again, on the positive side, the other cast members are all doing fine. Where Ezekiel, no matter what, his scenes fell flat. It's like the actor didn't have direction. Speaking of no direction, the one thing that's very clear about this is that this was at one point supposed to, I think, just be Madam Web. And politicking at Sony and various things jumped in, and we got it expanded into what it is. Because all the stuff in relation to the, oh, you're spider people from the future. It's, when it's brought up, it's like dialogue that's not necessarily focusing on them. how do I explain this? It's like they did voiceover, ADR after they pivoted the film. That's what it felt like, because there's a lot of voice dialogue and just things that are stated that aren't actually worded by the characters on film. Like it's the back of their head or as they're moving the camera. It's very weird and jarring. That's the best way I can explain it. What's more weird and jarring is that the three other Spider-Women never actually get their powers. That's never explained. Cassandra's just like, trust me, you're going to get them. Okay. Fine. Hold up, I think I said Brazil earlier. I want to say it was Peru. I'm pretty sure it was in Peru. Wherever. Anyway, magical spider people siphoning the power of the spider that you can only find there, I guess. That's his powers, and that's how it connects her. Because, yeah. Anyways, though, there's Ben Parker in this. Uncle Ben. It's finally nice to see a film where he's not gunned down. But it's very weird how they... Okay, keep up with me. All right, hold up. Let me explain this. So, Uncle Ben is just now, in dialogue, they're like, hey, he's found this girl. He's going to date her, probably. Ooh, stay tuned if you know who it is. Wink, wink. Aunt May, she's coming into the picture. But then there's these weird scenes where Uncle Ben is like, how do I put this, man? This is going to come off real weird. So in this, Mary Parker is pregnant with Peter Parker. Even though they never named a child, but they're heavily, trying to tell you, like, in the most Gotham-y way, who it is. By talking about how the baby's just leaping around in the womb. Yeah, look, oh my God. Anyways, though, in this film, if you didn't know any better and you didn't know the lore, Mary is always like, the dad's not here. He's always overseas. He's doing something. Blah, 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 blah. It's like she's throwing him under the bus. And then every time that's mentioned, Uncle Ben is right next to her being like, oh my God, I love this baby you're going to have. Oh my God, I'm so excited to see it. If you didn't know, you would just assume that Uncle Ben and Mary are just the couple. That, like, Uncle Ben is Father Ben to Peter Parker. It's a very weird relationship dynamic they have with the two here. It was off. At one point, I was just like, looked at my wife. I was like, you get the same vibe? She was like, oh, yeah. Is this like a what-if tale? Is, like, Uncle Ben secretly, like, what is this? Alabama multiverse of Spider-Man? Like, that's legit the feeling I got. Maybe it was just both of us. I don't know. I should have asked the one other person that saw the film at the same time in the other screen. Either way, though, the film is confusing and jarring. There's at one point a sequence where Madam Web becomes like... How do I explain this? She copies herself into 3, maybe even more ghost-like apparitions. And she's connected by the multiverse web of Spider-Man, but they can never explain what it is. Or what it... Okay, they never explain what it is, or what it do, or what it can do. Man, I'm not even editing this out. See, I'm trying to explain this film to you guys, and I wrote some notes down, and I'm still having a hard time. Like, Ezekiel was defeated twice by getting hit by a car. So that happens. Even though the theme in the film is that they're both, like, cognitive and precogs and can, like, foretell elements of the future, for some reason he can only see a potential outcome where 3 spider people kill him in the future, and he spent like a decade or more trying to hunt them down, but he couldn't. And then conveniently, they're all just in the same space in this movie, like literally within like 200 feet of one another when he finds them. Yeah, that happens. Am I missing anything else? Hold up. Okay. No, I just mentioned that. So yeah, I think that's it. I enjoyed it. I definitely did. I enjoyed it more than Morbius. So at least it's got that going for it. So there you go. This was a ramble-filled. Here's my random thoughts and things I jotted down on this notebook. What a movie. Still better than Morbius.